In the forest of beasts, a baby's cries can be heard. A wounded man runs as he hopes that his young son will stop crying. They must not make a sound so they can survive. The man hides behind a tree to rest. They haven't rested, and eaten for a few days, and the man is proud of his young lord for holding on so well. The baby smiles at him. The man apologizes as he gags the baby so he can survive. He ties the baby to a tree branch and leaves on his own. The next day, an old man wonders where his parrot learned to make a crying sound. Just then, he notices something hanging on a tree branch. He wonders who, in a right mind, will leave a baby in the forest of beasts. The old man plans to bring the baby to the ghost village. On way back, another man suddenly appears. The two wonder how the baby ended up in the deadly forest. The old man asks the other to gather the rest so he can introduce a new family member. 3 more men appear, and the old man introduces the baby to them. They will raise the baby together. One mentions that he can't help but raise it because he is armless. The old man tells him not to be mean because everyone here is crippled. The monkey-looking man reminds them not to reveal their identities in the ghost village. He himself is a famous medical expert. The old man then introduces himself as Ahk Lai Hu, known as the judge of life and death. Everyone gets shocked. Lai Hu claims that the other 4 already know each other's identities. Woon Sowol introduces himself as the master of secret techniques. Jang In introduces himself as the goblin bandit. Pang Go Gu is the blacksmith known as the Golden Hands. Everyone shifts their attention to the armless man, but he won't introduce himself. Jae Hu revealed his identity so he could take the baby as his disciple. He wants to make the baby great before they die. He then asks the others to help him teach the baby. Everyone falls silent. Jae Hu then shows the ring that was with the baby. They don't recognize the ring with its intricate engravings. It doesn't matter as long as they raise the child. They then think of the baby's name. Jae Hu remembers his 2 daughters and son, who died while he was not with them. He feels useless as an alchemist. He names the baby Woon Sowol. Jae Hu decides to pass on all of his techniques to Sowol. Sowon also promises to do the same. Pang will teach Sowol how to make mystic tools. Jang In claims he can only teach his bandit techniques, but Jae Hu claims those are desirable techniques for alchemists. They look at the carefree-looking baby who just got 4 masters. 10 years later, Jae Hu scolds someone for not memorizing all her names. Jae Hu walks out, and someone sighs. Jang In peeks in, and Sowol is happy to see his 4th master. Jang In talks to Sowol who felt stupid. He tells the kid not to blame himself too much because it is only natural for old people to get that mad. Sowol wonders if Jae Hu will live longer. Jang In smiles and explains that the old man has lived long enough. Jang In reminds Sowol to believe in himself and gives him some fruits. Knowing they came from outside, Sowol asks if he can go too. Jang In immediately refuses because Sowol needs to break through the gates of heaven first. Jang In tells him to study harder and he leaves. Night comes and Sowol keeps studying until he hears a loud noise. He sees outside the armless man feeding the goats. Sowol offers to help and the armless man asks him to stroke the goat. Sowol feels happy that he can help him. He heard the goat come from outside and wondered if it is really dangerous out there. Seeing the kid disappointed, the armless man tells Sowol to sit beside him. He teaches him a sentence that Sowol needs to repeat 3 times before sleeping every night. He asks Sowol to keep it a secret. 5 years later, Sowol is able to recite the whole process of a certain medicine. Jae Hu commends him. He thanks Sowol for sticking with him till the end. He asks him to listen to the other masters. With everyone gathered, Jae Hu announces something. There is a way to leave the forest of beasts. When he was outside treating people, he met a man who claimed to have gotten out of the forest. Inside a cave, someone named Lee Dong Jin moves with the help of a spirit stone. A flood dragon was there, but it is already killed. Sowon claims that it will be hard for Sowol to leave the forest. Jae Hu agrees, but Sowol doesn't belong in the forest of beasts. Jae Hu asks Sowol to leave the forest at all costs. He tells Sowol to master the craftsmanship of the river of thirst he taught him. However, it is a disadvantage. The more you learn, the harder to control it. You must have a strong physique. He confesses that he only stole the skill from someone. He asks Sowol to find the real skill out there and fully learn it. Sowol swears to master it. Jae Hu also asks Sowol to go to the Blood Fortress and help his wife and daughters. Jae Hu closes his eyes as he wants to feel the wind with them. They later hold a fire burial for Jae Hu. Sowol continues to learn more from the remaining masters. He is thankful to Jang In for teaching him escape and thieving skills. Jang In notices how Sowol looks worried lately. Sowol confesses that he can already feel the gates of heaven, but he can't break through. Sowol wants to hurry, but Jang In claims that he needs a pill first. Jang In orders Sowol to collect the materials in the forest. Sowol collects the materials needed and notices that the sun is setting. He uses hovering steps to go back home. He stops to catch a chicken or goat first for his masters. As he looks for his targets, he suddenly feels a ticklish feeling. He sees a goat in the distance. He tries to use hovering steps again, but he doesn't get the same ticklish feeling as when he discovered the goat. Just when he thinks there is no danger, a wolf-like beast with 3 heads appears. Sowol wonders why he is calm. The beast attacks, but Sowol dodges with flash steps. Sowol is confident he can capture the beast. He dodges while picking up stones nearby. The beast attacks and Sowol uses the stones to pierce a hole through the beast. He is really thankful to his masters. However, the masters look displeased that he came back late. Jang In scolds him while hiding the fact that he is related to the incident. Sowon asks Sowol about his first excursion outside. Sowol confesses that it didn't feel dangerous to him. Sowon wonders if Pang can make a flag out of the beast's carcass. Sowon tells Sowol that it is fine to resent them for restricting him. However, they want to make Sowol stronger first before he goes through the barrier. Sowon allows him to go around the forest as long as he has a flag with shadow concealment. Sowol gets excited and asks Pang to hurry up. Pang later teaches Sowol to create a dagger using fire and kai. He uses the wind of determination to cool down the dagger. It is just a normal dagger, and it will take 3 more years before Sowol can create a dharma tool. Pang continues working on the flag, while Sowol creates medicine using the herbs he recently collected. Days later, Sowol finally created his very first herbal medicine. The pill he made can remove toxins from the body. He tries it out and Jang In suddenly appears. Jang In informs him that flags are almost done. Outside, the masters watch as Sowol is able to use the portal and flags with ease. Sowon agrees that Sowol can venture into the forest now as long as he is well equipped. In the forest, Sowol feels awkward that he can't see any beasts around the village anymore. He recalls Pang telling him to collect spirit stones. These stones are found where the sun never sets. He travels a bit further away. He reaches the base of a mountain. He's already climbed quite a distance, but Sowol doesn't feel tired at all. Just then, he finds a flower of heartbreak. He also notices rare herbs nearby. He climbs a bit further, and he suddenly hears a beast roar. A flying beast attacks Sowol, but he fights back. Nothing happens, and Sowol realizes she became an intermediate by consuming herbs. The beast doesn't attack because it might harm the flower of light. Sowol uproots the flower, and the beast freaks out. Sowol then uses the flower as bait, and he hurriedly climbs toward the top. He reaches the top and sets up the flags. He uses shadow concealment to hide. The bird flies to the top and looks for Sowol. Another beast appears, the fire-breathing jade boar. The 2 beasts prepare their attacks, with Sowol in between. The attacks clash, and Sowol can't believe he is witnessing a fight between intermediate beasts. The bird beast attacks the boar beast, and Sowol is blown away by the explosion caused by the clash. He stands back and discovers the boar dead. He lets a flame rot from the boar. He also discovers the flower of light snatched by the bird beast before. It was quite dangerous for Sowol, but he gained a lot from it. Everyone later causes a ruckus due to Sowol's experience. Pang immediately warped on a magical pouch that could store a lot of items. Sowol continues to gather herbs to create a pill that can help him achieve a breakthrough. 3 months later, Jankin asks about Sowol's progress. Sowon warns him to be careful when making the pill, or it will become poison instead. They are confident in Sowol's skills, but they still visit to check on him. Jankin tells him to eat it now, or he will steal it. Sowol smiles and takes the pill. He starts to meditate, and he experiences both flames and coldness in his body. Sowon tells him to endure, and Sowol starts focusing on the median point in his head. He awakens in front of a door and tries to open it. The door opens, and Sowol passes through it. He wakes up to see his masters anticipating the good news. The masters are proud that Sowol has become transcended. Sowon claims that Sowol can now step towards the heavenly realm. He explains the different stages in the heavenly realm. Sowol promises to reach the top of the heavenly realm. However, it actually took Sowol 1 month since he took the pill. Another month has passed, and Sowol's movements are better than before. He is able to reach the peak of the mountain that he is wishing to climb. He watches the skies as he feels proud of what he has achieved. He looks around and notices the mountain where the two intermediate beasts fought before. He notices something and leaps in the air to reach it. He discovers a nest and wonders if it is the same intermediate beast from before. He brings out his weapons and sees a lot of sacred herbs in the nest. He hears some rustling and deploys his shield. Nothing attacks, and he takes a peek. He finds a baby boar lying cutely. It was the jade boar's offspring. Sowol now knows why the jade boar attacked the bird beast. Sowol plans to raise it so it can help him manufacture pills with its fire. Sowol brings back home a baby beast. The masters are impressed that he found a baby jade hog. Sowol hopes he can tame it. Sowon can help him tame it because he is the best at taming beasts. Sowol wonders when the boar can breathe fire. Pangugu claims it might take around 5 years. Jangan claims it is a short time for a transcendent like Sowol. 5 years flashed by in an instant. Sowol complains about how slow his progress is. Jangan appears and tells him that he should be proud of what he currently has. Jangan knows it might take some time for Sowol to reach the spirit energy law. It might be better to use his power in a different area. Jangan wonders if Jihu taught him about the eternal youth Dan. Jangan already taught him about face and appearance changing skills, but that will not always be effective. A person who takes the eternal youth pill will trick even the best masters. It will be a great advantage to have. Sowol later collects the ingredients for the eternal youth pill. While resting, he wonders if masters can also become younger. Just then, he notices something approaching. Sowol immediately sets up the flags and uses shadow concealment. He wonders if criminals have been sent to the forest of beasts again. 2 women pass by, and Sowol wonders why their appearances are different from his and their masters. He wonders if these are the women that he heard about. This guy immediately gets infatuated with them. He remembers Jangan telling him not to trust women. He watches the women take a bath and notices their pouches. They look like alchemists. Jangan would always advise him to steal others' alchemist pouches to gain dharma tools. Just then, another man comes and steals the pouches. However, the mean gets poisoned. The 2 women call the man stupid for falling into their trap. Sowol now believes Jangan's words. The man can't believe his lust has gotten him hurt. The women try to finish him off, but Sowol notices that the man is bringing out silver needles. The man then throws the needles toward the 2 women. The needles get deflected, and the man asks who is interfering with their business. The 2 women wonder why the poison is not working on the man. The man then claims that this kind of poison is easy for him to treat. He claims that people like them who got raised in the forest of beasts are no match for him. The man then wonders why the other man nearby is not taking action. The women thank their savior and ask for another favor. The man laughs at them for asking for a pass of his help. The man then offers a huge reward to Sowol if he helps the man. Sowol can see that the man is in the 7th stage of heavenly birth. While he is in the 4th stage, he comes out, and everyone is surprised at how close Sowol is. The man wonders how Sowol got such a high level of concealment. The man asks for Sowol's level, and Sowol lies and says he is only low level. The man asks how Sowol can hide without being detected at all, and Sowol claims that he got a dharma tool. The man then asks if he has more tools to defeat the woman. Sowol answers that he got a sword and shield. However, the man plans to kill Sowol later and loot his dharma tools. The man offers Sowol to level up later, and Sowol acts like he is agreeing. One of the women gets mad and calls men trash. She attacks, but Sowol uses his shield. Sowu notices how the man is testing him. The man commends Sowol. He brings out a tool and attacks the chestnut-haired woman. The 2 women get flustered. The man attacks again, and the 2 women can only put up a barrier. The blonde-haired woman tries to attack, but Sowol blocks the attack. The man then gets mad and prepares another huge attack. He asks Sowu to distract the 2 women. Sowu joins the attack, and the women put up another barrier again. The man then uses a tool that works like a flashbang. Sowol uses this chance to attack the man. The man dodges, but Sowol follows it up with a fire breath. The man burns, and Sowol finishes him off with another attack that puts holes in him. The women are surprised by the sudden twist. Sowol knew that the man would also betray him. He claims greed is also a poison that kills people. The 2 women thank Sowu for killing the man. They apologize after knowing that Sowol was only acting. Sowu also apologizes for attacking them. They introduce themselves as Bo Young and Seo Jae. Sowol does the same. The 2 sides share the loot from the man's pouch. The sisters share the herbs that Sowol was looking for. They apologize that they don't have the rarest material, but Sowol claims that it is fine. Bo Young asks what Sowol is making. So Woo casually tells them that it is for the eternal youth Dan pills. Bo Young is jealous that Sowol can make something like that while they are not able to create simple pills by themselves. She claims that people who care about appearances will go crazy over the eternal youth pills. Bo Young then asks Sowol for a deal. On the way home, Sowol wonders if it is fine to give the two some eternal youth pills after they tell him about the last ingredient's location. The area is guarded by the great conch spider. Sowol asks So-won how to defeat the spider guarding the serene bamboo. So-won claims Sowol is lucky that an advanced level beast is guarding it, not some highest grade beast or fiend. So-won will help him create a solution to melt the spider's webs and warn him to be careful. Sowol feels guilty for not telling his master that he met people outside. That night, Sowol confesses to Jang-in about it. Jang-in asks if he killed someone, and Sowol claims the man was evil. Jang-in commends him. Sowol also shares about the sisters. Jang-in is disappointed after expecting that they were people he knew. After knowing Sowol made a deal with them, Jang-in reminds him about women again. Sowol claims they don't look like bad people. Jang-in reminds him again that people can turn evil because of greed. The next day, Sowol and the sisters arrive at the conch spider's nest. So-woo gives the sisters the solution for melting the webs. He tells them to distract the spider while he sets up a trap. However, Bo Yeon doubts if the trap is effective against the advanced level beast, but Sowol is confident in it. Bo Yeon wonders how skilled Sowol is. They travel more, and Sowol tells the sisters to be careful now. Just then, they discover the serene bamboo. The group wonders where the conch spider is. Based on his master's words, Sowol knows they are the trapped ones now. Suddenly, the conch spider appears from above. It attacks with its webs, but the sisters slice through the attack. Bo Yeon tells Sowol to set up the magical trap while they distract the beast. Sowol leaves, and the sisters face the spider. The spider attacks with a melee, and Bo Yeon defends while Coolg unleashes a technique. The butterflies attach to the spider, and Coolg triggers an explosion. However, the spider is unscathed and comes out of the smoke. The spider jumps on them, but Coolg uses her technique again to make an explosion. It was a direct hit, but the attack was ineffective again. The spider then fires an attack with a strong frost key. Sowol suddenly appears and tells the sisters to leave the spider to him. He uses flash steps and tries to stab the spider. The spider fires an attack at Sowol, but he is able to dodge at point blank. Sowol retreats as he realizes that an advanced level beast is this strong. Sowol fires an attack somewhere, and the spider quickly dashes to protect the serene bamboo. Sowol now plans to use the serene bamboo to lure the spider into his magical trap. They move again, and Sowol activates the Void of Space spell. The spider gets trapped by the spell, and Bo Yeon can't believe what she is seeing. The sisters use this chance to fire attacks toward the spider. They get a direct hit, but the spider's skin renders their attacks useless. Sowol jumps on it, and the spider attacks with its frost key again. Sowol puts up his shield and charges forward. The spider applies poison to its fangs and attacks Sowol. The sisters get worried as they see Sowol pinned by the spider. Sowol uses this chance to finish off the spider at close range. The sisters ask if he is alright. Sowol claims to be fine, but he suddenly falls. The sisters get worried as they try to wake up the unconscious Sowol. Bo Yeon panics as she wonders what to do. Sowol feels bad for acting, but this is a method to check if the sisters are trustworthy. He wants to check to see if they will kill him or just simply abandon him. Coj suggests investigating the poison fangs to find an antidote. Coj lifts Sowol while Bo Yeon handles the serene bamboo and conch spider. Woo realizes this has become a troublesome situation. Bo Yeon catches up to Coj and discovers her swooning over Sowol's body. Coj tries to escape to work on the antidote and the two continue arguing while Sowol listens to them. He feels embarrassed for suspecting them. He gets up and notices documents on making pills. The pages are almost unreadable. He hears them approaching and Sowol returns to acting unconscious again. Coj tells him to open his eyes because they know he is conscious. She noticed how the shape of the blanket was different. Sowol is amazed, but he confesses that he was really paralyzed for a while. Coj doubts him, but Sowol explains that he has built up immunity. She is glad that he is fine and brings out the serene bamboo. Sowol feels thankful to the sisters and promises to give them the eternal youth pills. Bo Yeon returns while wondering if Seo-jae is touching Sowol's body again. She discovers Sowol awake, and he wonders what to do with the spider's carcass. Bo Yeon wants Sowol to have it. However, she asks for a favor. She asks for Dan pills and Seo-jae gets flustered. Bo Yeon claims that they can trust Sowol. However, they still don't know him that much. She asks for Sowol's age, and the sisters are surprised to know that a 20-year-old is in the same heavenly birth stage as them. The sisters had to train for 100 years before they reached the 4th stage. Bo Yeon asks who trained and raised him. Seo-jae finds Bo Yeon's question rude. Sowol needs to hide his master's identities, and claims his master passed away already and didn't reveal his identity. The sisters then apologized for being intrusive. There are some herbs they want to have extracted. The sisters are from the Yeonam nation of the Yinyak faction, who cultivate herbs and extract Dan from them. However, a group called the Dark Beast Mountain Clan attacked them, and everything fell in one day. The Zen masters avoided the siege and escaped to the Forest of Beasts. What is left are the sisters and the burnt books. Sowol understands their situation now. Bo Yeon asks again for Sowol's help, and they will give him 30%. Sowol agrees, and he will examine the herbs first. The three go to the medicine room full of the sisters' ancestors' collected herbs. Sowol later reports back to Jang Jun. The master is still suspicious, but Sowol manages to convince him. Jang Jun tells him to do whatever he wants to do. Sowon wonders if Sowol will start working on the eternal youth pills now. Jang Jun knows it will take months for Sowol. He needs fire for the furnace, and asks the piglet for help. Pangu Ji-yu also offers his materials. Jang Jun reminds him to come out before they pass away. A year later, a door in the mountains is being forced open. They are the friends of the man Sowol killed. One woman claims that they can't live with only men around. They plant another bomb, and make it explode again. Sowol is on the way to meet the sisters when he hears a nearby explosion. He remembers the direction as being where the sisters live. There, he discovers the sisters' place being bombed. Sowol watches the two men trying to bust open the seal door. Sowol wonders why they are attacking the women. Just then, the door opens, and Bo Yeon exclaims that they have told them everything already. The bald man exclaimed that they killed their priest with cowardly tactics. Sowol can see that they are here to exact revenge. Sowol waits for his chance to help the women. The bald man rides his sword and attacks the two women. The two try to defend themselves, but the bald man gets past them. The women are now pinched. Just then, Sowol attacked and blinded one of them. The top knot man attacks with a whip that Sowol can't cut. The man forcefully pulls Sowol and attacks with his claw blades. However, the attack is ineffective because Sowol is armor. Sowol surprises the man with a fire breath attack. Sowol immediately follows an attack and finishes off the man. The bald man is left alone against Sowol and the women. Sowol finds the sword made from the conch spider amazing. The bald man gets frustrated and explodes the entrance to the sisters' abode. He calls the women lucky for having reinforcements. The three attack with all they've got, but the bald man blocks their attacks with a fire barrier. Sowol tries to use a firebomb he brought. The bald man turns off his fire barrier and dodges the firebomb. He laughs at Sowol. Sowol then uses a string to pull back the bomb. The bomb then explodes on the bald man's face. Sowol checks on the two women, and the two feel thankful for being saved twice. They thought Sowol died somewhere. Sowol then delivers the good news. He gives the sisters the eternal youth pills. They can't believe they are receiving it just like that. He also made partial Dan seals for them to nurture their spirit energy. Sowol asks if it is fine to extract the Dan from their ancestors' legacy. The sisters are fine with it after being saved twice by Sowol. Sowol understands, but he points out that it will take him 5 years to extract the Dan from the number of herbs. 5 years later, Sowon claims he is proud of Sowol. He recalls that he chanted the 1,000 demon spell, tried to tame a fiend, and became crippled. He tells Sowol not to do the same. He is happy to see Sowol in his final moments. He continues to remind Sowol of the chores until he breathes his last breath. Some time passed, and Pangugu also passed away. Jangan also claims that he doesn't have much time either. Jangan then tells Sowol about his story. He was a famous thief. He stole a lot from alchemists, and thanks to that, he also became an alchemist. Sowol thanks Jangan and the masters for raising him. However, Jangan claims they won't raise him if their Nandins are not broken. He reminds Sowol that alchemists are greedy people, and he shouldn't have trusted them. Sowol gets depressed. Jangan cheers him up and thanks Sowol for making them ordinary people. However, Jangan is still curious about the armless man's identity. He wants to know before he closes his eyes. The armless man introduces himself as Peng Shai Yang. Jangan freaks out because Sai Hai Yang is the monarch of the evil sword. He didn't expect the monarch to be thrown into the forest of beasts. Jangan further asks about the secret of reaching the vitality of yin and yang at the age of only 300 years. Shai Yang doesn't want to tell him. But Jangan asks him to tell Sowol instead. Shai Yang doesn't want to. Jangan asks him if he doesn't want revenge. Sowol will leave the forest soon and is not ungrateful enough to ignore his master's acts of revenge. Shai Yang still disagrees with sharing information. 2 years later, Jangan knows it is his turn already. When Jangan was persecuted before, he told them where he hid his treasures. However, he will tell Sowol where he hid the key of 100 choices, the most bizarre treasure he didn't disclose. He wants Sowol to find the purpose of the treasure. He reminds Sowol to enter the heavenly palace if Shai Yang won't teach him. Jangan promises to protect Sowol in his next life. 1 week later, Sowol kneels in front of Shai Yang. He wants to learn his teachings. Shai Yang already gave advice to Sowol before. However, being his student is a different story. There will be 2 conditions. First, take revenge on him. Second, he will teach Sowol his destruction arts and Sowol must use them to kill Shai Yang. Sowol is surprised to know that the second condition is to kill Shai Yang. 7 years later, Shai Yang asks Sowol if he is prepared. Sowol confirms. Shai Yang smiles and leaves things to his disciple. Sowol prepares his blade and thanks all of his masters and their teachings. Sowol uses all of his techniques and attacks Shai Yang. Shai Yang smiles as he feels thankful to Sowol. He is glad to have found a new purpose in life. He sees Sowol hesitating and shouts at him to come. Sowol uses destruction sword arts and Shai Yang feels happy seeing it again. Sowol later kneels in front of his master's graves and tells them that he will now leave their village. He recites their teachings to treat kind people nicely and treat evil people like demons. He swears to exact the revenge his masters are looking for. Sowol flies toward the sisters' abode. Sewol Jae claims it took 9 years and a half for Sowol to visit them. He can only give the reason that he was busy. He tells Sewol Jae that he will leave the forest. There is no clue, but he can always try. Sewol Jae feels sad, but she wishes Sowol luck. Sowol thanks her. Sewol Jae sweetly tells him that he can always visit them when he is tired. Sowol later camps out and remembers the sisters, telling him about possible locations of the ancient dragon. He already went through everything, but there is nothing. Just then, the jade boar notices something and breaks a wall. Sowol notices a crevice in airflow. He destroys the wall and discovers a cave. He goes further inside and discovers a woman chained to a wall. She asks to be saved. Sowol looks at her and asks why she has become like that. She refused to be a concubine of someone and left there. Sowol offers to release her, and she menacingly smiles. She continues to act cutely, but Sowol notices the chains have strong spiritual energy. The woman tries to feign ignorance. Sowol reminds her that this is the forest of beasts, where fiends can turn into humans and bewitch them. Sowol then brings out the shadow orchid, a plant that gives off a smell that fiends hate. He wonders if it really works. Just then, the woman turns into a grotesque-looking creature. The fiend freaks out over the shadow orchid. She swears to do anything and not harm Sowol. She swears that being chained down for 200 years has already made her weak and useless. Sowol then offers a deal. He asks the fiend if she knows the ancient dragon's whereabouts. She claims Sowol won't be able to fight it alone. Sowol asks again, but the fiend doubts that Sowol will return to free her. Sowol then claims that she could also be lying. The fiend then claims not to say anything. Sowol leaves and tells her 100 more years. He will also cover up the cave. The fiend freaks out, and Sowol asks again for the dragon's location. He reminds her that she is not in a position to whine. She points out that Sowol won't be able to free her if he dies at the hands of the dragon. Sowol uses a dead man's name, and the fiend introduces herself as the nine-tailed evil fox. Their kin always bears a grudge, and she will make Sowol's life a living hell if he deceives her. Sowol agrees to it, and the fiend tells him the dragon's location. Sowol later leaves and plans to keep up his guard in case he meets a fiend again. Later, a man worships the dragon god. He brought in 3 women who wanted to serve the dragon god. The leader asks for the dragon god's protection for their people in Riverside Village. He tells the girls not to leave until the dragon god descends. He asks Wall Yong to look after the other girls. He tells them not to make a mistake and serve the dragon god well. So Wall witnesses everything. He thinks this is where the ancient dragon lives. So Wall wonders why they are worshipping the ancient dragon. He prepares some flags and jumps down to gain more information. He lands on the platform and kidnaps one of the women, who thought of him as the descended dragon god. So Wall brings her inside the concealed barrier. The woman wonders if this kind of person is the dragon god. He introduces himself as an alchemist passing by and apologizes for rudely snatching her. He only needs information, and he will return her to the altar. The woman recognizes the jade boar and realizes that So Wall is not an ordinary alchemist. She also notices So Wall's techniques. She asks him what information he needs. So Wall then asks if the dragon god is the ancient dragon. So Wall then starts describing it, but the woman is not sure because she hasn't seen the dragon god yet. She claims that she knows the dragon god's appearance. She heard that the dragon god protected their village, and that being sacrificed was a small price to pay for the safety of everyone. So Wall returns her to the altar after he gained information. To confirm things, So Wall needs to stock up on power. He sits down, remembering the female fiend's words of warning. So Wall meditates as he reaches the gates of heaven. He recalls his master's advice to have a character on top of spirit energy to break through. Just then, he senses someone approaching. A man comes out of the cave, and the girls greet him as the dragon god. He finds the welcome satisfying, but he wants the alchemist nearby to come out. So Wall gets surprised that he was detected while inside his concealment. He picks up the jade boar and tries to leave. However, the dragon god blocks his way. So Wall brings out some shadow orchid, and the dragon god complains of the smell. He gets mad and changes into his dragon form. So Wall gets flustered as the dragon tries to attack him. The jade boar receives the attack instead. The dragon tells So Wall to get down and attack him. The dragon god goes back to the ground in his human form and uses telekinesis to control the unconscious So Wall's fall. He also brings out the remaining shadow orchid and finds So Wall interesting. Later, the dragon god tells someone how So Wall uses witchcraft. The others wondered why the dragon had brought in a human. So Wall wonders where he is. The dragon is impressed that a human can make something interesting. So Wall claims that it is just a trivial skill. The dragon won't kill So Wall because he is interesting to him. So Wall offers to tell him the extraction method. The dragon wonders if So Wall can also handle poisonous herbs. So Wall proudly claims that he can extract Dan from sacred and poisonous herbs. The dragon looks happy and will give So Wall some work to do. However, he will kill So Wall if he doesn't prove his skills. So Wall bows in agreement. The other man wonders why Gil Won the dragon is entrusting it to a human. Gil Won claims it is the lesser devil poison and another pill he once made. A Dan pill using his uncle's Naden. The other man gets shocked, but Gil Won assures him that he didn't kill his uncle, who died 50 years ago. He is still looking for the culprit, and So Wall recalls hearing about an ancient dragon that died 50 years ago. A mysterious alchemist killed Gil Won's uncle. Gil Won's cousin, Oh Chuk, decided to bet with him with their uncle's inheritance on the line. A fight of life and death, which is why Gil Won approached the man in front of him. The herbs he got are not enough, so he asks for the betel plant. However, the betel plant is a fragile material. Gil Won needs to perfect the Dan pill to come out victorious. He offers Oh Chuk's Naden in return. The other man then agrees to the deal, knowing it is Oh Chuk's Naden. This woman's only chance to survive. Gil Won then pulls out something and orders So Wall to swallow it. It is a prohibition pill and Gil Won will provide the antidote in a month. So Wall will soon feel itchy and lose all of his hair. In 10 days, his bones will melt. In half a month, his organs will melt and he will die. This is Gil Won's method, so Wall won't run. He gives So Wall the manual for creating the lesser devil poison. He orders Su Yong to bring So Wall to the medicine room. Su Yong tells him to hurry. So Wall realizes he took in the treacherous poison. While creating the lesser devil poison, he will also make the antidote to catch Gil Won off guard. On the way, So Wall wonders if Su Yong is from the Riverside Village and how long she has been here. Su Yong can't believe a dying man is having a casual conversation. So Wall knows that he won't be let go easily. Su Yong agrees. They arrive in the medicine room, and So Wall is surprised by how grand it is. He can do anything he needs to do. Su Yong unties his ropes as she warns him not to do anything stupid. Sowol tells her that he will keep the warning in mind. A month and a half later, Sowol waits for Gil-won to check his progress. Just then, Soo-young informs Sowol that Gil-won is looking for him. Sowol reports to Gil-won that the lesser devil poison is finished. Gil-won doubts him because the poison should take more than 2 months to create. However, Sowol insists that he is talented at creating poison and pills. The finished product is presented to Gil-won. Gil-won brings out the lesser devil poison to test and throws it towards Sowol. However, it just went past Sowol and hit another servant instead. The woman screams in pain, and Gil-won agrees that it works as intended. The woman falls and Gil-won can see that she can still breathe while paralyzed. The lesser devil poison is complicated to make, and Gil-won is satisfied with the results. He asks what Sowol wants as a reward. Sowol claims that he is okay. Gil-won asks again as he crushes the paralyzed woman. Sowol then asks for his pouch so he can use the Dharma tools he owns to make Dan pills and poisons easier. Gil-won orders Soo-young to return Sowol's pouch. Gil-won will absorb the Dan pill made from his uncle's maiden for the next year. He orders Sowol to continue making lesser devil poisons. He asks the girl nearby, Wol-young, to learn from Sowol how to make the poison. Sowol feels relieved that he has been spared for another year. This is his chance to escape the place. Sowol later discovers that the contents of his pouch are not touched at all. Sowol finds the situation hard because he is still lacking power. Wol-young checks on Sowol and asks him if he is planning to escape. Soo-young told her that Sowol was making something aside from the poison. Sowol claims he is only resisting the fates assigned to him. Once Wol-young learns from him, Sowol will be useless, and Gil-won will discard him for sure. Wol-young claims that Sowol will die from the poison if he leaves. Sowol is already trying to break through the gates of spirit energy, using stolen ingredients and preparing medicine that will help him after his heavenly rebirth. Moreover, he already creates the medicine for the dragon's poison. Surprised, Wol-young wonders if it is true. Later, Soo-young goes somewhere and passes by some guards. Another Soo-young comes and tells the other that she has a weird talent. It turns out to be Sol in disguise. Soo-young secretly called him to come. She asks if Sowol really made an antidote. Sowol knows he won't be spared, so he made one. Sowol then asks why Soo-young didn't report to Gil-won that he has been stealing ingredients. Soo-young then tells him that there is a strong magic trap at the entrance of the cave. Sowol wonders why she is telling him this. Soo-young tells him to focus. She tells him that there are only 8 maids who know the direct path through the trap. All of them are alchemists who have gone through the law of spirit energy. The possibility of them betraying Gil-won is low, but since Sowol made an antidote for the poison, they might be convinced. Soo-young will set up a meeting between Sowol and the 8 maids. Sowol plans to pay back the favor to Soo-young. However, she wants Sowol to help Wol-young instead. Soon after, Sowol meets one of the maids, So-chong. So-chong asks if Sowol can really detoxify the poison. Sowol confirms that he knows the poison and its antidote. So-chong wonders if they can really trust him. Sowol gives the reason that he has a deep knowledge beforehand of the poison's characteristics and antidote. So-chong heard how Sowol finished the lesser devil poison quickly. However, she wonders if the antidote for the dragon poison is really effective. Sowol then imposes a question. He wonders if they truly believe that Gil-won will emerge victorious in his upcoming death fight. If Gil-won loses, they won't have the antidote again. So-chong laughs and claims that Sowol is right. Sowol then gives them the plan. Instead of escaping, he wants them to kill him. Will Sowol be able to escape the dragon's cave? Comment alchemy below if you want another part of this video. Make sure to like this video and subscribe. Until next time.